Thank you. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. And then we have our amazing director, board of directors, Leah Jones. How are you doing, Leah?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. So this is a kind of a down and dirty meet the candidates edition. So 15 to 30 minutes is usually about how much time that we take. If there's people that are dying to ask questions, they can do that at the end. But if not, Shawn will give a recap as well. And I'm ready. Are you ready to dig in?
Let's go.
Okay, hot seat, Shawn. Here you
Love
go.
it.
First question. Networking and building partnerships are really vital to RESA's success. How would you approach building relationships with stakeholders, sponsors, industry influencers in order to promote RESA's mission?
Oh gosh, yes, networking. I love it. I don't know if you guys listened to Marianne Cherico's podcast this morning. I was on her podcast and it came out today, and we talked about networking a little bit on there. And one of the things that I have been dubbed in my time is the king of networking. Um, I talked on there about how if I could just get paid to network, that would be a fantastic job. I would love it. Um, but I host a couple of networking events. I love networking. I think that it's incredible way to get the word out. Um, I think as far as and I might need you to refresh the question a little bit, but as far as talking to stakeholders about advancing the mission of RESA, I think it's that, right? You have to believe in what you're networking about, right? And so in order to meet with stakeholders to advance the mission of RESA, I have to believe in RESA. And I do wholeheartedly, fully believe in the mission of what RESA does. I've been around for a little while. I think my first membership with RESA was in 2012, so I've been around for a few years. Um, and I've made my way around to other things as well. And I always come back. I always come back to RESA, and I have just love the mission and what we do at RESA and how we support each other. It's probably the most supportive organization that I've been a part of. So I think you have to um, fully believe in the mission of what you're doing in order to network with the stakeholders. So I think that would be the answer to that question.
Yeah.
And I apologize, my office, I have a fly that keeps flying around me here. So if you keep seeing me do, weird movements, it's not nerves, it's actually just this annoying fly that
Just
is
dodging a
wanting to be part
bullet.
of the conversation here. So
No worries at all. Great answer.
Okay, so next question, kind of talking about board members and working together. So board members often need to work collaboratively. Can you provide an example of a situation where you successfully collaborated with a diverse group of individuals to achieve a common goal?
yes. One of the things I spent 4.5 years serving the city where I live as a city councilor. And if you want to find a diverse group of people that don't always get along, look at politics. Um, Politics is probably the most divisive um, group of people, and everybody does it because they love where they live, they love their what they're doing, and um, I think everybody goes into it with positive intent. And then you get involved in it and you start talking about it. And you are in this group of people, and there's our city council was 7 people. So that's 7 different ideas, 7 different opinions, 7 different um, goals. And so you do have to work to find a common denominator there. What is the common goal, right? And that is our citizenship in the city, and then for RESA, it's our membership. And so our role in on the board isn't to advance our own personal mission; it's to advance the mission of the organization as a whole. And that is what is best for the entire organization. And so sometimes I think it's important that you have to put your pride aside and realize that you're doing this for an entire group of people, not just for you. And so, yes, as city council, I've served on several different boards of directors, and it's always the same. You have to work together to advance the mission.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. In
Yeah.
fact, RESA is like 17 years old, and it's about 200 leaders a year that have come through all those years. And it's vital. for the health of the organization. So I love that. Now, with networking and building partnerships and all of that great stuff and working collaboratively, board members end up wearing multiple hats on a board. So they may participate in different types of committees. How is it that you handle multiple projects simultaneously, and how do you prioritize tasks to manage your workload in a board environment?
Um, the funny answer would be coffee and alcohol, but that helps a
Not
lot of
wrong.
stuff happen. But no, you multiple hats, yes, and you do have to prioritize. My wife tells me um, to write lists, and I don't always do it as well as she would love for me to do, but I have found that having lists and using my calendar guides my life. If something gets put on my calendar for the wrong time, I will be late or early because my calendar guides my life, right? You have to have something that keeps you on track and um, keeps you uh, organized and knowing where you're going. Either that or you have to have a group of people running behind you telling you where to go. And so just staying on task by using lists, using calendars, and utilizing tech in order to make sure that you get all the things done. And then just making sure that you use the resources that are available to you. And sometimes that means friends and people and advice and all the different things. There's a multitude of ways to do it, but um, yeah,
Excellent.
Well, keeping organized and, kind of just going with the flow is certainly important, especially, as each year we change board members. So with the change of the board members, the dynamics can change as well. So you can probably imagine that.
yeah.
So how do you, and you've kind of spoken about it, but like, how do you adapt to new leadership styles and board compositions? And then also, can you share an experience where you've successfully integrated into a new team environment and contributed to the group's objectives?
Yeah, I think if you go into everything with the mindset of what am I going to learn from people that
Mhm.
think differently than me,
Yep.
I think you will succeed. If you go into a new environment expecting to change people's minds about things, you won't succeed. And
Mhm.
it's being willing to listen um, first and act second, right? Um, Understanding the surroundings, understanding who you're with, and being willing to learn from them. Um, I there's when I went into the city council thing, right? There was an opportunity to go in and just put my foot down and say, well, this is what I want. That would have gotten me nowhere. But to go in and listen to the other opinions and then say, how do we work together? One of the things that we did there was we would set up annually, we would meet and set our council goals, and we all got to share the goals that we had for the council. And then how do we whittle that down into actionable items? Um, so yeah, I think that would probably be the example of times where I would go into something, and have to. I had certain things I wanted to accomplish, and they didn't all get done because I'm one of seven, right?
Mhm.
And so I have to listen to what everybody else wants to get done. And the other thing is, a board is it's very easy for a board to come up with a whole bunch of ideas and then go to staff and say, okay, Shell, Joanna, here's all the things we want you to do them. But we also have to understand that there are only two people and there's only a few people doing it. We have to understand what they can accomplish as well,
Right.
so and
Right.
not overwork them.
Well, I think it's so important to have those ideas because those are valuable. And it's just how do
Yeah,
you interject them and, knowing if or, will they be received or anything like that. And then having kind of actionable items associated with that, to say like, here's an idea and here are some
yeah,
ways to accomplish that.
yeah,
But also listen. Yeah, I think that's
yep,
even
yep. Listening is
important.
number one.
Yeah.
Listening first. Always
Yep.
listen first.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Now, circling back around to the networking aspect, as I'm a networker as well. Um, and funny, you mentioned, could you just get paid for networking? I have like, can I just get paid for volunteering? I
right.
love to volunteer for stuff. It's like, Oh, it warms the cockles of my cold dead heart, I'm telling you. So I totally get where you're coming from. But networking also plays a vital role in awareness campaigns. So how do you plan to leverage your professional network to help promote RESA? And can you provide any type of examples where you successfully utilized your connections in the past for maybe a similar purpose?
Well, that's a loaded question. That's great. Um, I think so. I don't have a specific example, but one of the things that you'll learn about me if you haven't already is if I'm going to buy into something, I'm buying into it, and I'm going to sell it, right? So, um, if I believe in RESA and I'm part of the board, I'm doing even just as a general member, even if I don't get selected for the board position, I believe in RESA and I'm sharing it, right? I'm telling people about it. I'm trying to get more people to RESA. I'm trying to help increase membership, right? Because I believe in it so much. And so my goal, board or no board, is to share whenever there's an opportunity to share about the organization. I'm going to share about it in hopes that it helps to grow the organization.
I love that. I love that. Well, we are done with our grilling of you. So, if there are any last minute words that you would like anybody to know about you, about your experience, and why they should elect you to the RESA National Board.
Yeah, I just love this group. I love RESA. I love what it stands for. I love how inclusive it is. I love how um, RESA gives everybody an opportunity to succeed. And I just want to give back and serve. I served on the local board when Portland had a chapter. Unfortunately, we don't have a chapter right now, and so I still want to continue to serve RESA and be a part of leadership. And so the way for me to do that was to step up to the national board. And so I would really love the opportunity to serve. Um, there's some great candidates, and so no matter what happens, I think that RESA is going to be in a better place because of who's willing to serve. We've had an incredible board, Leah and others, and it's just going to be a great time. So I'm excited to see what continues with RESA. Looking forward to RESACon. I'm actually signing up for it today after we get done with this. So
Yay.
sign up for RESACon, whoever's listening. So make sure you're there. It's the best time that you'll ever have. So
It is, and you definitely learn a lot. Well, I certainly
yeah.
appreciate you being brave enough to step up and into leadership. Leadership, as you know, it is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and uh, you have to believe in it. It's got to be something that's coming from in here in order to make it not only just tolerable but enjoyable, and to be able for everybody to give back. So I appreciate you stepping up. And for everybody else, Leah, thank you for joining me today. I
Yeah.
appreciate the assist. Now, for everybody else, elections are coming up. You can start voting on October 21st. Voting ends on October 31st. So if you're a member of RESA, check your email in the next week where we send out links to be able to vote. And then please look at each candidate, read their little bios on the website that we will have, watch these. I'm certain you can reach out with any questions as well. But vote, make sure it's very important that everybody register to vote in general and vote.
Yes.
So if you are
Yes.
not a member of RESA, you can register to vote by joining RESA and then voting in at the end of October. All right, that's a wrap for us. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, happy staging. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
See ya.
you.